just a bit of noodling there, nothing completely solid or like, but it's about keys, key signature. So what I was kind of doing there was just, as I say, noodling about, just getting some ideas perhaps for a piece maybe. Some nice things in there. Some bits are a bit waffly, as is my character. But my point is, by doing a video like this perhaps is about knowing keys. So like chords, I've done some videos on chords, key signature is really important to understand, knowing what key you're in. And when you know things like that, you can kind of noodle around like that. So as you could sort of see, probably I was only hitting a certain amount of notes. I wasn't hitting all of the notes, and I wasn't hitting F and I wasn't hitting C because I was playing in D major. So we're going to look at, it's another word for it is scales. So we're going to be looking at scales. Scales are something I like to kind of crack on with early on because, again, like chords, it's a good way to kind of feeling your way around the piano and getting to know it, you know. So let's look at the D major scale because that's what I was just playing in. So D major is D, E, F sharp. We don't play F. You hear it? It's got that kind of, it's a pleasing sound, isn't it? Da, 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 da. Sorry, I got distracted. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp and D. So those two notes, F and C, aren't played. B flat isn't played. D sharp isn't played. So there are notes that are not in that scale. They don't belong. You've got to think of scales perhaps like a family or like a group of people. So if you think of your friendship groups perhaps at school, or like, I don't know, maybe soaps. Let's think of soap operas actually. So soap operas. So let's say you've got the cast from EastEnders. But Coronation Street they don't belong in EastEnders, do they? I don't know any characters from maybe you watch, maybe you think of some characters. So it's about belonging. It's about the notes, you know, getting them to belong in a particular group. Now, there are other types of modes and scales where F and C belong with D. So looking at Dorian, for example. But it sounds very different, doesn't it? If you listen to this, and Dorian. So the scale we're looking at the moment, the major, is kind of goes back to C, and it's the technical name for it is the Ionian scale. And if you listen, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Don't know if you like the film, what's the film? Sound of Music. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And a bit of information, musical information. That is solfege. That naming. It's like naming a note. So when I was little and I loved the Sound of Music and growing up, I just thought that was part of the film, the song. You know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But I know, as it turns out, that is what a lot of European musicians use to name the notes. And actually it works. When you have like a name to something, it helps it to stick. So that's called solfege. Now, D. You can hear the theme, even though we're in a different scale, we're in a different key, we're not in C anymore, it's still, the intonation, it goes up, and that's because there's a very, there's a set rule of how many tones and and semitones are in between each note using the major scale. So we're going to have a look very quickly at C and D to kind of, so you've got a reference to two, you know, rather than just having the one. So C, we start on C because that's the name of the scale. So C major. We go to D, which is a full tone. Remember, we're not counting this one. Well, we are counting it rather, but we're not playing it. So it's a full tone to another full tone to a semitone. So we've got already C, tone, full tone, full tone, semitone, full tone, full tone, full tone, semitone. So full tone, full tone, semitone, full tone, full tone, full tone, semitone. If we look at D, so D, full tone, because we're skipping this one, which is obviously, this is where the semitone is. We're going to this one, which makes it a full tone. So bum, 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 bum. Semitone, full tone, full tone, full tone, semitone. So it's exactly the same spacing as C major. We're just playing it from, instead of starting on C, we're playing it on D. We're starting it from D. And the same would be with E. So E, we're not going to play this note because we've got a full tone first of all. So we've got E and then full tone, semitone, full tone, full tone, full tone, semitone. Okay, I hope this isn't too confusing. It's a bit confusing to begin with. But basically, again, a lot of music is just a formula, and once you've cracked the kind of the code or gotten the key or whatever it is that you want to think of it as, then everything else becomes a little easier. So you might think, oh, you know, lots of people just memorize C major and D major, and you do, you know, lots of practice and muscle memory needs to be created, but there are formulas as well. So that is the formula for the major scales. So if you took that formula and placed it on any note starting, so let's say we start on A, we're going to do the A major. So we're going to go full tone, semitone, full tone, full tone, full tone, semitone. Can you see that? So we've got C, full tone, two full tones and a semitone, full tone, full tone, full tone, semitone. So it's like 2 and 1. So 2 full tones, then a semitone, and then 3 full tones and then a semitone. So yeah, I don't know if that works for you. Hopefully it does. But once you know the scale, or you know what notes are in the scale, you can then bit like Julie Andrews, you know, in the film where she when you know the notes to sing, you can sing most anything. If you've not watched the film Sound of Music, please go watch it. It's fantastic. It's really cool. Loads of amazing songs and, you know, orchestral bits and all that in. So yeah, please do go watch it. You will not be disappointed. Yeah, but obviously when we do music, if you're playing in a particular key, you're not just going to go up and down like that. You're going to mix the notes about. Oh. Apologies for that little mistake there. Obviously haven't been practicing enough recently, so yes, I've snuck in a little. Now, saying all of this, it doesn't mean that when you're playing in a particular key you can't have what we call accidentals. Okay, so accidentals, and the reason I do that is just, I don't know, make it more I don't know, anyway, accidentals are you can have accidentals, and they're called accidentals because they don't really belong in it, but it makes it quite tasteful when you slip one in sometimes. Not always, but you know, again, think of your soap characters. Maybe your Janine Butcher might end up in an episode of Coronation Street, and you know, that might be quite fun and quite nice. So but yeah, so anyway, hopefully that helps, and I'm waffling again, so I'm gonna go, and I will see you all soon. All right, thanks, bye now.